I'm turning 50 this month, and if I'm completely honest, there was a time when I never thought that this chapter of my life would look like it does. Like really aligned, fully alive, and completely mine. Most women think 50 is an ending, but really, for me, it's just been a beginning. And I'm so excited because literally when people say like 50 is the new 30, I'm like, 50 is way better. I don't know about you, but when I was 30, like there was still so much of that. I don't know who I am. I don't know who I'm not. And you kind of enter this phase of life and you're so clear. And I can tell you that emotionally, physically, spirit, all the things, like I am so much happier and healthier and wiser at 50 than I was at 30. And so it's really a beginning, and it's a return. And it's really a reclamation of identity. So as the identity architect, I talk a lot about our identities and who we are now versus who we were then. And oftentimes, especially at this stage of life, so many of us feel like, I'm good. Like I have great friends, I have a great life, but there's this part of me that's totally disconnected. And the reason is that this version of you, this identity, is one that you developed 10, 20, 30 years ago. Maybe it's a transition in career. Maybe it's a divorce. Maybe it's simply like your kids are off in college and you're empty nesting and you're like, outside of, being a mom or being a wife or being a CEO, whatever, I don't even know who I am anymore. And so many of the women that I work with, brilliant, high achieving, deeply self-aware, midlife feels like a threshold. And you've lived so much life and you've built so much and you've survived so much and you've carried so much. And yet there's still that place, that one place that feels uncertain. And maybe you wake up in the middle of the night and you think, I should be farther along, or I can't believe that at this time in life, this is where I'm at. And I just want to tell you, even though you think, when you look at the highlight reels and you look at everything else, that you think everybody else has their shit together and everybody else is so much farther along, hear me when I tell you, that's not true. We all have our stuff. It's not because you haven't done the work, you have. Again, you've outgrown the identity of what built your life. And now you're being asked to create one that actually fits. So that's what turning 50 feels like to me. That's what it's meant to me. It's not about age, it's about alignment. And when I say alignment, I mean like the deeply grounded, no BS, no like fluffy, oh, I'm so grateful for my life. We have to be grateful for all of it, right? Not just the good stuff, because it's the hard stuff that we've survived, that we've gotten through, that we didn't have any idea how we were going to get to the other side, that in that moment defined us, right? So that's part of holding on to that old identity. But now, instead of that defining us, we can look at that and be grateful because it's the thing that refined us. It's the thing that brought us to who we are today and getting ready to step in to this next level identity. So years ago, right, I went through divorce, was super volatile. I did all the things we were told to do. I talked about it in therapy. I talked about it with my girlfriends. I read all the books. I did all the things we were told to do. All of that beneficial, by the way. But after a certain point, you stay in the story. You stay attached to that old identity. You never get to move forward. Fast forward, moved to California, to take over family business. Again, found myself in a crazy situation in the middle of a DEA investigation. That's a story for another day. But also had no idea how in that current state I was going to figure it out and move forward and move on from that. And then getting into a relationship that was very unhealthy and abusive. And that for me was the line in the sand. My nervous system was still choosing from the past. And it was just protecting me from what felt unfamiliar, right? Being in a healthy, safe relationship, being loved, being celebrated for all of my too muchness and not enoughness, which is, a bunch of BS. But in that moment, to understand that line in the sand, that reinvention isn't cosmetic. It's not reading another book. It's not taking another course. It's somatic. It's internal. It's rewiring those things from which we have lived for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And midlife isn't a crisis. Midlife, my love, is clarity. Midlife is stepping into this next version of you where you get to reclaim your power. You get to own who you are in this version. And you get to embody that and integrate that into your energy and your decisions and your relationships. You get to own that in a way that you never have. And then you get to lead and live and love from the identity that fits who you are. If this is your season of clarity, I want to invite you to take the Ellie. So the Ellie is the Extraordinary Love Index. There's a link below. And this is going to answer the question, what's standing between you and extraordinary love? And that doesn't need to be romantic love. It can be self-love, but no matter what, it's going to give you insight about you that you've never had. It's going to look at 9 key areas. And then I'm gonna send you a 28-page customized report that's gonna show you where you are, what you might be experiencing, the cost of staying there, and what you can do right now to move yourself forward towards the identity that actually honors the woman that you are today. So if this hit for you, please make sure that you like this video and subscribe so you don't miss anything coming up. And leave me a comment. I would love to know where you are. Where are you in this process, in this phase? What do you want for your what's next? And in addition to taking the LE, make sure you pop over to the website and subscribe to the Inner Circle newsletter, where I'm gonna send you every week stuff that's gonna help you move the needle personally, professionally, and helping you step into the extraordinary life and love that's meant for you. I'll see you next time.